Happy Halloween, everyone. How goes it? How is your Halloween thus far? Long time no see. Oh man, I was doing a spooky stream because I was under the impression that there was no JMR because it said nothing until the 2nd of November, which is Thursday, in the middle of the spooky stream. And what do you know? Turns out there are marbles in 40 minutes, is what Mino said. No peep at all. No one's saying anything about anything for forever. No one was saying anything about a banner that had been up for 2 weeks that we all assumed was correct, because if it was incorrect, they would have addressed that and made changes to it and not have just left it up. They left it up to leave everyone else here thinking that there was no marbles today. Turns out there are marbles today, way scarier than the game that I was playing earlier, and that game was incredibly scary. Okay, just for the fact it is Halloween, we doing scary stuff today. Very scary. Very scary game. Also scary is how some of these marble teams are and how some of these teams aren't. If you are a team that is in the bottom of the barrel and you have a good showing and are still not out of the bottom of the barrel, it is panic mode. 7 events down, 9 to go. We are almost at the halfway mark. It's only been 3 weeks. What? 2.5 weeks? What? Marbula 1 gets 10 weeks. 10 weeks. Snooze halfway through most of those races. Marble League, your flagship series, flagship everything. Classic. Funnel endurance, classic. We only get like, what, 7 weeks, 6 weeks for a flagship series? Now that's scary. How fast this league is going, this season is going, as almost an asterisk. That's scary. So I'm going to put these on. I forget how I did it. I was just here an hour ago. Forgot how I did this. Hold on. I am also contractually obligated to do this. Need to do it. So I'm green. So it's hard to see where my fingers are at. Ooh woo. Contractually. This is not a good dress. I'm sure you can see it. Not a good dress. This is a Wish.com. Just I've never seen the back of this, actually. Never seen the back of it. But since I'm using it for a business expense, it technically counts as a tax write-off. Suck it, IRS. All right, so we do got schmarbles that we're just gonna roll right into. Funnels is one of those. Had I known that Funnels was today and not in 2 days, I might have invited Madman back on, because Madman actually made Funnels exciting to watch. Because they do be going around. Although, with the bingo, it does make it exciting because some of it hit or almost hit. I'm not sure if Greg said penultimate. He should say penultimate if he hasn't said penultimate yet. Because that is just one of those things he said. A lot of the things almost came true for me. But in typical Thesaurus Xenosaurus fashion, I do just throw stuff at walls, see what sticks. This is not a game. This is just a stream. This is just me talking for an hour and a half about marbles going through funnels. I can pop these back on. How about this? How about this? I went to college. Cannot stress that enough. I went to college for this. Ah, this is fun. This is fun. Green screens are so much fun. Okay, now there goes the circulation. All right, there's marbles in here somewhere. I promise you. And we are rolling. It is just 2 heats, right? So it goes by kind of quick. Not a whole lot to talk about. It's more the overall standings and also the fact that it's an easy Raldo. Have no idea where they were. Under the funnels, that is the classic Raldo. Under the funnels, 2 heats, top 4 go to the final. Typical funnels, right? Yeah, not a whole lot, strategy wise. Just stay in the funnels. So, just kind of exit out that merch. There are the standings going into this. And if you recall how it finished up, a lot of the bottom teams actually did well. That's kind of hilarious. Wow. Remind me to go back to the minute mark, because I will forget to just look at these overall standings before versus after. Oh man, just the 1 point separating first and second, the Bees and the Speeders. No idea where Roldo is at all. This camera work seemed to be oh no, we got an ad already? Already we get an ad. I'm about to say how good the camera work is compared to previous installations of the funnels. Seeing the O-Rangers not in the first heat made me hopeful for everything, right? Because the O-Rangers are just one of those teams where if they are in the first heat, they get performance anxiety. And like valid, I've been there, but they just get performance anxiety when they're the first ones up, so they don't do as well. When they're in the middle, right? That's when they shine. Gonna move my microphone back up. I was screaming earlier because the game again was extremely scary. Wisps putting in work early. Okay? Wisps putting in work early. They drop through. Where does it all go wrong for them? Because they were penultimate, which was a word that I'm not sure if Greg said in this. Now, this angle, right? We have seen worse angles. We have seen worse angles out of funnels before. The underside ones are always the worst. And I don't think they've brought that back at all. I think they're keeping with the top down. Still not the most insightful angle, but at least you can see what's happening. Yeah, and so Westby all of a sudden, the top 4 to the bottom 4. Cyanide's also down there. That was an interesting move. And there's also some grumblings, right? And I'm gonna unmute in a bit once the cat size drop through first.
Fall through will not advance. Cyanide is last. I know that was a controversial choice. White Eye just smashed his tactical board, apparently. We are hearing some jeers from the crazy cat size stands. They are not.
So the cats are still doing well. That's the one peculiar thing to come out of the grumbles out of it. Like, I don't know who the best funnel runner is for the cat size. But a goose say you never want to take the biggest L. But the cats are still fine, right? With 9 events to go, 8 events until the showdown, the best showdown, the showdown that will be the most watched showdown, not just most watched showdown, most watched video on the JMR channel. As I take a sip of water from a My Little Pony cup. But the cats are not that worse for wear heading out of this event, even with 0 points coming out of it, which isn't what you want. But also Westby. What? Just got made captain. That was a move that shouldn't have happened. Just because it wasn't going to change anything. The Wisps are the Wisps. God, if they come back, if they run the table, I will have to use that clip. I will have to be in a maid dress saying the Wisps are the Wisps. Oh, please, Wisps. Don't make me come back to this clip. Wish they would have showed Wide-Eyed going crazy. For real. Full on the Bills offensive coordinator last year, smashing up the tablets, right? It said that Wide-Eyed was going crazy. We don't get to see Wide-Eyed going crazy, but why was Wide-Eyed going crazy? Like, yeah, he took the L, but you're gonna take L's. That's the part of sports, right? You're still doing well with 9 events left. You're still solid. They're still balancing. There's still a relay. There's still triathlon. Maybe don't put in Blue Eye, but there's still triathlon. And there's the Honey Dome GP. It's an M1 course. So a lot of the talk is that there's going to be a buildup. There's going to be a buildup to something huge with CCE. Either a championship win or someone getting fired in like 3 events. Yeah, weaker starts have resulted in better finishes. Exactly. Speaking about better finishes, I'd say the inverse. Better starts to weaker finishes. Westby! What happened? They were solid through here. Like they were leading after 3 funnels. They were solo. They were rolling. And then all of a sudden, they just dropped through all of them. I'm trying to get my chroma key. Oh, that's fading. Trying to get my wrist shown. Oh, that's actually pretty good. Oh, okay, we good. Oh, no, I am invisible. Never mind. Shouldn't have touched that. What? What the heck? Now I really am a ghost cat maid. Where'd I go? Oh, okay, there we go. I'm back. I'm trying to get rid of the specs. This kind of specs. Technology, man, hit or miss. Okay, that's good. I'm not touching it now. Not touching it. Yeah, Westby was a very shock early exit, just for the fact that in something like this, right? They are in
Now
third
first.
after 2 funnels, and they are the second finisher.
To avoid tipping through that event horizon and drop.
Gonna mute again. We don't need Grogwoods. Yeah, it's just interesting. The grumblings. Midnight Wisps need Jesus. Some religion, right? I know Momokai was praying to every single main figurehead in every single religion to bring Momo back because Team Momo was dead. It was so Momo over. And we'll get to that because it's looking like it might be Momo over for a good long while. But the Midnight Wisps, a team that should have been dead last year, it took the worst point total coming from Balls of Chaos for the Midnight Wisps to be 15th. I think they're going to go back to 15th again. They might just be sliding back. Because remember, the year before they took 15th in the Marble League, they were in the showdown. And had there been relegation, they would have been relegated. So the Midnight Wisps from 2018 champion, they are in a hard panic mode. Would not be surprised if Westby loses the captain gig. Would be surprised if they just get canned mid-season. Hope it doesn't come to that, but I would not be shocked if the coach gets fired. I'll ask that. I won't use it as a poll because there are too many, teams, and it'll give me 4 options. But which team would you not be surprised if their coach got fired mid-season? Because, White Eye is barely freaking out over 1 loss. You're freaking out over 1 loss in a season where you're still in it, right? Wisps are in full panic. Gotta be panicking. Bumblebee's not a good finish. That is what I thought the grumblings were about. When the grumblings came in, I thought it was the Bumblebees taking an early exit in funnels after getting their second gold medal of the season in a season that they are hosting, because the Bees, 1 point of the Speeders coming into this event, and you want to maintain the lead. A 1-point lead in any sport is not comfortable. You want to take a comfortable lead. Couldn't get it done with Honey, unfortunately. And then Mellow Yellow is the last to not advance. Mellow Yellow can finish anywhere they want to, and I'll believe it. There is still hope for them taking dead last, because that is the only prophecy I am standing firm on, is that Mellow Yellow might just take dead last, or they might just win it. Why not? Right? Fruit Circuit year, yada yada, whatever. But Mellow Yellow can just finish wherever they want to, and I'll be fine with it, because Mellow Yellow just finishes wherever they please. They have the best seasons, they have the worst seasons, but they never had the worst season. Gonna be interesting to see how the point totals are at the end of this, because I don't do numbers. I was just hoping that this was gonna be the event, especially with Shock, advancing and not being bottom, not being dead last in a season where they are currently dead last. Hoping that the Thunderbolts would have gotten the gold this time around. And then maybe Bees and Rollers on the podium at the same time, because my bingo is kind of in dire straits right now. But Honey bowing out early. Unfortunate that it couldn't happen. Still waiting for it. Bees and Rollers are in pretty good shape. Coming from two teams that aren't in good shape most of the times, but the Bumblebees are really some true players this time around. Same goes for the Rollers. They are hot, and I hope that it continues, right? Because these are two teams that have not had success. And we had it with the Pinkies last year, right? A team that was actually the worst. The Pinkies were actually the worst team, and now they're champions, reigning Marble League champions. So here's hoping that the Bumblebees and the Rojo Rollers can follow suit, especially for the fact that Oscars is dead. If you want to talk about dead things, you got to talk about the Thunderbolts, right? Got to talk about Team Momo, right? Host Curse is dead. Out of all the things that we can talk about, Host Cursed. Ain't no T in it. Host Curse. Schmost Curse. I love that bit. Because I think Greg Woods actually didn't introduce himself. And he's like, oh, hey, didn't introduce myself. Hi, everyone, I'm Greg Woods. Little Greg Woods flies up, rolls off. That's going to be our Grog Woods moment. Let's just go real slow with it. Go slow with it.
Don't know if I introduced myself. Hey, everybody. I'm Greg Woods. The funnels beckon for the second heat.
Now that is me. I would say something like that. If I'm 5 bottomless brunch mimosas down, I don't know if I introduced myself. Hi everyone. I'd probably introduce myself as Greg Woods if I was 5 bottomless brunch mimosas deep. So going into the second heat, and that's a great that is something I would say. Or just the funnels beckon for the second heat. And it is Ghosto, Kano, and Mo, Pinky, Rosa, Rojo Dos, Snowfall. That was who replaced Snowflake. Sterling and Swifty, right? You think about Group of Death in the qualifiers, this is the heat of death. Because who is all here? We got O-Rangers. You gotta see my hand. You got O-Rangers. You got Savage Speeders. You got Pinkies. You got Shining Swarm. So, all right, 4 teams, 3 champions, another podium team. Then you have Team Plasma, who is on a hot streak. And then you have the Rojo Rollers also on a hot streak. But then you got Team Momo and the Shining Swarm, who are dead coming into this heat, into this event. So this was one that I wish the O-Rangers and Kanoan did better at, just because this is such a solid heat. This was such a tough heat. Nice camera out of focus, but that's the Snowballs, Team Plasma, and the and Team O. When I saw the Team Momo drop through, I'm like, oh no. Oh no. It's Momo over. It's Momo over. But Kanoan absolutely running it back. And I wish. Oh, that is the wrong spacebar. I wish they did better. Because, did you see that stiff arm? That was nasty. Rangers and Savage Speeders. I dare you to name a better battle. Two bigger rivals, right? Rangers and the Savage Speeders. Savage Speeders are in the top spot. They've been in the top spot. And then the Bees finally knocked them down after taking a second gold. 4 medals in 6 events entering this one. Rangers just hoping they can win a game. Savage Speeders are cruising to the finish line. They got everything on cruise control. They are coasting. And you have Ranger Kanoan saying, "Get out of my funnel." Absolute stiff arm. Swifty taking their time going down. Kanoan going, "You don't take no time." Get off me, he says to Tracy Porter. Last one in that funnel. What was that? That was the first funnel. That was the first funnel. Last one out of the first funnel is Kanoan. And I think Rangers about to win this event. It's only the heat stage, but they're about to win this event. Rolling. Another stiff arm. Swifty's like, "I'm going to take my time. I am not going to let you stiff arm me again, shove me again." Kanoan's like, "I bet." Bop. And then another one on Dose. Flirted with it. Flirted with going down. Went, bit too close for comfort. But that was an ankle breaker. I think Kanoan just faked Dose out on that. Kanoan faked Dose out. Watch it. So shoving Swifty down. And then you have Kanoan going, "Oh. Whoa." So Dose is like, "Okay, I'm gonna just shove Kanoan down." Right? Same thing. If you remember yesterday, flashback a whole 20-something hours to yesterday about tug of war and the sumo wrestling thing, using your opponent's momentum against them. Right? Rojo Do's like, "Oh, okay, so I'm gonna just go down there, shove you in." Kanoan moves back, and then boom. Great, just absolutely great strategy from Kanoan, but it used so much energy. It is funnel endurance for a reason. They stayed in the first two longer than any of them, longer than any of the other two. Any marble in their heat stayed in the first two, but they're just running out of gas. You go from the last in the first, last in the second, to second going out of the third. That was rough stuff because you could tell that they were just winded. They were absolutely gassed. Just, they used up all of their, it's endurance, right? It's funnel endurance. Used up all their energy on those first two and couldn't maintain an outside line in the third funnel. So now we got the Speeders. The Speeders thought the Speeders were gonna win. I'm like, "Oh no, no, do it, no." And then Kanoan finding the edges. Did it extremely well. Extremely well in the qualifiers. They were about to get knocked down into the showdown. I was sweating. I was having so much anxiety watching the funnels because they're about to go into the showdown, heading into the funnels in qualifying, and then Kanoan runs it back because that's what they do best. They take the midline. They let everyone else drop in first, and they're just so good at taking the middle edge and almost sidestepping other competitors and then just slowly shoving them in. Did it to Mo there, did it to Snowfall there. So now they're running it back, right? They conserve so much energy, so much momentum, save so much time. They were the last out of three funnels, which means they were first in three funnels. And they just could not maintain it. You could tell with that, they just took too wide of an arc. They were so isolated. They couldn't get into the pack. Because once you're in the pack, then you can start pushing everyone into this, I guess we can call it an event horizon, right? You start pushing everyone downward. They're late to the party. They couldn't get into the pack. And so all the energy, Kanoan already gassed at this point. Already winded, already exhausted. Trying to get back into the pack. They just couldn't get back there, right? So Ghosto, the first one to drop on in. And I saw Kanoan doing that business, and I'm like, oh, they're too close. They're gonna fall in. They're too close. So then it's Swifty, Snowfall, then Kanoan. Important thing. O-Ranger's still doing better than the Savage Speeders in an event. Gotta take your wins where they lie. It just needs to be better. Wish they could have bonked Sterling down, but Sterling was not about to do that. I think that was smart with what Sterling did just then. That was smart what Sterling did just then. All you got to do is take top four to advance. You don't have to, showboat, be, all that matters is top four. You don't have to be number one in your heat. You just have to be top four. So watch Sterling count these. Team Plasma with Ghosto already down. Swifty's down. Snowfall's down. And then Kanoan falls down. And that's Dose putting the hit on Kanoan. Call that karma, right? Call that karma. But watch wherever. Oh, that is the wrong direction I was pressing. So we got Swifty, Snowfall, Kanoan, quick succession. And, with Ghosto being 5 seconds behind everyone. Sterling knows that's 4. All you gotta be is not in that 4. They see Kanoan fall, knowing that that's the bottom 4. And then they just immediately going after him. Immediately going after them. Conserve all that energy. Save all of that energy for the final. Because all it matters is you are in the top 4 and not the bottom 4 for getting out of the heat stage and onto the final. That was smart by Sterling. And of course, Dos, Rosa, and Mo. Thought Mo was going to run it back. Momo needs the dub. Momo just needs a dub. Right? Thought that was just going to be the story of Team Momo in the funnels, because Team Momo does really well in funnels in qualifying, but not in the main event. Thought they were gonna break that streak of doing really well in the qualifier funnels, not so great in the main show funnels. Speaking of breaking, the sign. This was not a planned thing. This was amazing. I wish that Bees did it just so we could get that bingo spot, but it was just all the moving from the funnels, all those vibrations just knocked the sign down. This was a very, there was no one in the path of it. It wasn't a huge, break of anything, so it wasn't as terrifying as things could be. But so this was fun because it was just the sign slowly falling.
Crazy cat's eyes in the meantime. 0 points. Coach and manager are very disappointed. And oh my goodness, the giant banner has come down.
Like that's amazing.
Thankfully, nobody underneath. It's a thundering motion.
There's literally nobody
sound,
there.
Vibration as these marbles come down
and
through
then
this course.
the ground
actually
crew
shaken
came
this
up.
Sign loose.
This should have been
so
my
we're gonna
thumbnail.
take a short
Realizing
break while
that
they
now,
fix
this
it.
should have been the thumbnail.
Nobody likes to be told
there
what
we
to
go.
do.
Okay.
Except when
That I guess that is the thing. That the sign breaks and Greg is like, okay, we can just head to a break real quick. Goes to a break. Then they do the membership sign up and the Patreon sign up. And then the absolutely phenomenal quick fixing from that grounds crew. Thank you, grounds crew. Very, very quick fix. Really cool how fast they were on the scene to fix that. And yet got it. They better be union. They better be union. All right. So off on the final. This was probably the best entry into the funnels that I have seen, because everyone was just trying not to be in the funnels the longest. So you have Rosa, whoever is for the Razzies, Rosa, Rezzy, and Sheet, the last to enter the first funnel. But some hard hits just send them down to be the first ones out of that first funnel, which is not what you want. Dose got hit. Some collision happened, so everyone just took a very wide elliptical path instead of the circular one. But I was just all eyes on Mo trying to win one for Team Momo, and also eyes on Shock trying to win one for the Thunderbolts, dead last coming into this event. And it was Sterling getting out of that first funnel last. And then Rezzy drops down almost immediately. So Raspberry Razor's not looking good. I honestly had no idea who was going to win it. I said Raspberry Razors for the sake of Raspberry Racers. But this was a very, very strange final heat. And then Mo comes down. Thought it was gonna be the dub for Team Momo. I was conflicted. I wanted the Team Momo dub, but I also wanted the Thunderbolts dub because I do have that as a bingo spot. Still hoping that every team can win a medal this season because 9 events, there's still time, but a lot of these teams are not getting on that bus. So Sterling dropped down first. Sterling is in last right here. They dropped down at the 120 mark. 1 minute and 20 seconds, they're in that last funnel alone. And they are not met until Rosa joins them 10 seconds later. 10 seconds later, they are in the bottom funnel. And then Shock. And then Mo. And then Dose. And then Sheet. And Sterling is still at the bottom, flirting with the 8 spot. Which, 8 is still better than half the pack, right? But you can see how conserving all their energy from their group came to play. Because that's some psychology. So much of sports is mental. Everyone else sees Sterling drop down there. And they're like, okay, Sterling's out. They're in the last funnel. Meanwhile, we are in the penultimate funnel, which I don't think Greg said. Someone will let me know if he said it. But everyone is like, we are in the penultimate funnel. Sterling is in the ultimate funnel. So they're done. We don't have to worry about them. We just have to worry about us. Sterling, just keeping their pace. Maintaining their energy. Just all of the energy they save from their group stage coming into play here. So, Shock taking a bit of an elliptical path. Sterling able to shove him down. And then everyone else tiring, trying to push Sterling. Sterling taking a page from the Kanoan funnels hand guide. They don't have hands, but hand guide, right? You can see how they're circling Momo, or just Mo. Just a singular Mo. You can see how they're circling Mo. They're both fighting for that outside edge. And, Pulsar goes through. They didn't have any say in that. But all they're doing is just bumping out some more. So they're just letting everyone else bump. And all of a sudden, 30 seconds ago, 40? How long are they in this funnel? Yeah, 40 seconds. They are out of the penultimate funnel at the 120 mark. 40 seconds later, they're in a spot for a medal. Absolutely insane run that Sterling had in these funnels. Someone did say that Sterling was going to run it back, and they did run it back. They did run it back. Sterling absolutely put on a show, outlasting everyone. When did Shock go in the final funnel? So 132. They're in there 12 seconds after Sterling. And they are out 30 seconds before Sterling. So Shock down. And Sterling is just playing everyone else's momentum to them. They get some bounces. They kick back out to a wider circle. Get some more bonks. And then Rezi drops on through and there's your podium. In some order, there's your podium. Sheet the Reserve. I think they said it was their first medal, I believe. Shroom Enthusiast. What a name. That was you. You are correct. Big Gombler. Big Gombler. Putting it all on Sterling. Should have saw that coming. It's such a toss-up with how the funnels play out. Like I said, Razzies were going to win it. Rezzy took fourth. Like, that's pretty close. In terms of my predictions, because believe it or not, I don't have the best history with predictions. That is actually as good as my predictions get. And then Pinky Rosa kicking it back out. Got a bunk on Sterling. And then Sterling's like, I'm going to just shove you down. And then I don't need to take my time anymore. See, that's smart. Sterling conserved so much energy in this. This was one of the more dominant funnels performances that we've seen, for the fact that they were in that final funnel for almost a full minute. That is a solid performance from the Shining Swarm. Desperately needed that medal. They were 14th coming into this event. Right? Also, someone said that Momo was at 120. 120 something. Oh, yeah, there they are. Yeah. Wow, that's fun. That's a fun marble spot. That's a good hiding spot. So the Shining Swarm, 6 points above Team Momo in 14th. Needing a win badly. Get that win. Absolutely run it back. Sterling putting on a performance of a lifetime in the same way that I put on a maid dress. Did Raldo knock the sign down? Let's hope not. I think that's why he left. I think there are too many vibrations. Raldo's like, uh-oh. I'm going to get out of here. That sign does not look stable. Gets out of there. Sign falls down. Yeah, Sai and I getting no points. Kano and O-Rangers are either the worst or the best of the worst. This season, if it's a heat stage, they're taking 8th, right? Saw that in a 5-meter sprint. They get out of their heat, but lose in the semifinals or quarterfinals. They lose in the quarterfinals. They're always losing in quarterfinals, in 8th, or they're not advancing out of a group stage or a heat stage in 9th. They're doing insanely mid so far. Not what I want to see as the number one O-Rangers fan. Still dressed as a maid. But Shining Swarm from 14th. Remember? Did it last year. This is exactly how they did it last year. Everyone was saying they were dead. Because they were. And then what do? They run it back. So who knows? Maybe this is the start of the next Shining Swarm run. Because they did this exact thing last year. Shining Swarm Pinkies, who were 2nd and 1st respectively last year. Gliding Glaciers were 3rd the year before that overall. Somehow this is a solid podium. 2 years ago, this is a showdown podium. Now this is a solid podium of some solid contenders. Glacier, is this their first medal? Glaciers, that is their first medal. So just like that, Swarm needed one, Glaciers needed one. Only 4 teams are medalists. That is medalists, not medalists. Medal-less. Without medals, without hardware, they have not been on the podium. Only 4. Not even at the halfway mark yet. Thursday's going to be the halfway mark, which let's hope they update the banner on the channel, JMR, please. Let's hope some more non-medal teams, non-podium teams get on the podium, get some medals on them. Mellow Yellow, Team Momo, Thunderbolts, Team Galactic. Somehow some usual suspects, right? Team Momo just got points that they finished in something that wasn't 14th. They finished in 5th. They got double-digit points. They got points equal to a value greater than 2. They got more than 2 points in an event. And what did that do? That kept them in 15th. So, Thunderbolts are averaging less than 4. 4 and a schmidgen. Like 4.8. Almost like 4.86 points. No, less than 4. 3.86 points an event. So 3 points would be 29. They're on pace for 58 points. They're going to get a medal. They're going to get a gold, and we'll forget about it. A gold will double their score. It has been 7 events. A gold will double their score. Savage Speeders jump. Hate it. Now that's scary. You want to talk about scary things on Halloween? That's scary. Savage Speeders jump up back to first. Without any golds. Only 2 points ahead of the Bees. If the Bees get out their group stage, then they still take the lead. Kinda. I mean, there would have been... No, they would have. If the Bees left the group stage, they would have won. Or maintained the lead, right? This is one of those events that'll come back to bite you, right? It's not, in terms of other events, the most intense. It really is just 2 heats, then a final heat, and that's it. There's not a whole lot to it. This isn't something like balancing, right, or collision, another event that's non-speed based, non-time based, right? So it is a bit of a toss-up. What Funnels does, and what Funnels always does, I can't say doesn't do. What the Funnels do, though, what the Funnels do is make it an absolute toss-up, right? This is the monkey wrench event. Out of all the events to happen, this is the monkey wrench. Because there's so much shoulda, woulda, coulda. If the Bumblebees left their group stage, they would have beat the Speeders and maintained the lead going into the halfway point for the season. But they didn't lose out by 2 points after 7 events. So let's see if those 2 points come into play. Jungle Jumpers know 2 points might as well be 1,000 in terms of difference. So all eyes on this event. Kind of like Balls of Chaos and Mellow Yellow, losing it by 1 point in qualifiers. And that 1 point came from being 100th of a second. This is one of those events that is just all arrows will point back to this. Swarm Up, they get a better green. I guess that's just because of them winning. Maybe, I don't remember that green being in previous events, but they do get the green because they get the gold. Jumping up 6 spots above the Rollers, just behind the O'Rangers, who are still in 7th. O'Rangers been in 7th this whole time. That is just crazy. They got a bronze. Savage Speeders still have no golds. Let's hope that never happens. Savage Speeders might as well just be the first team to win a Marble League with no gold medals overall. Or no gold medals in events, but get the gold overall. Because that's just that kind of season. You have 4 medals in 5 events. Now they got 4 medals in 7 events. It's kind of getting diluted. They bumped the Bees down by 2 points. They'll make that up in balancing, surely, right? Bees still got their gold. And up in the 3 spot, jumping 3, their second silver. Back-to-back silvers, mind you. Back-to-back silvers are the Pinkies. 10 points behind the Bees. 12 points behind the Savage Speeders. We're about to break some sort of points record. Savage Speeders, barring a collapse in balancing, which they are the Speeders, they are known to do, barring a collapse, they're going to have 100 points at the halfway mark. They will be on pace for 200 points. What's the record? Like 210 from the Razzies? And that took them getting 8 medals. Every other event, half of the events in 2019, the Raspberry Racers medaled in. And that's how they got the win, how they got the most points, the most medals ever. Savage Speeders on that same pace, if not better. And there's still plenty of speed events. Mind you, there's still relay, which they're insanely good at. There is still triathlon. And there's still the final, which is a Marbula 1 track. So, plenty of time, plenty of chances for them to get more medals. 4 out of 7 events. That's still pretty good. That is still more than half of the events. Raspberry Racers don't move any spots. Meanwhile, that goose egg not doing any good for the Crazy Cat's Eyes, although they are still in 5th. A gold and 2 bronzes with 2 goose eggs. You finish 2 events out of 7 so far with no points and you're still in 5th. That is still phenomenal showing. So, understandably, you don't want to take dead last because you're not getting any points that way. And there's the comment that the coach and the general manager were freaking out a bit. They're disappointed. Fans were grumbling because they didn't get any points, but they're still in 5th. 9 events left, you're still in 5th. You got the greatest Marbula 1 racer, and the last event is a Marbula 1 track. Plenty of time for the Cats to run it back, right? And balancing is Thursday. And if there's one thing that Cats do, it's balance. So there is plenty of time. Don't know why the Crazy Cat's Eyes higher ups are stressing their team's position. Although it is 15 points behind first. So 25 from 93 is 68. So really only the Crazy Cat's Eyes can jump back up with the gold. But there's still 9 events. Plenty of time for some of these teams. Thunderbolts, 12 points behind Team Momo. Team Momo, not looking good. Thunderbolts, even worse than Team Momo, which is an accurate statement no matter what day of the week it is, no matter what tournament or what anything it is. Thunderbolts only team with a score that starts with the 2. That's not good for the Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts absolutely dead. A gold will double their score and will put them in at most 12th. At most 12th with a gold in the next event. Galactic moving on down. Glacier's moving up with that bronze. Ties them with the Galactic. Tie broken off of the medal count. And then Plasma Snowballs got gold. Can you imagine? Team Plasma. You told me that 2018. I'm like, no. That is not a thing that happens. Team Plasma and the Snowballs with the gold in a Marble League at the same time. But they have hit the skids in the other events. So they're moving on the way down. Just the points separating them. And man, Mellow Yellow. That is not good for them. But again, 9 events left. 4 teams. That's 2 podiums. That's 2 podiums. The blessed podium for an event would be Thunderbolts, Bees, Rollers. Just to get 2 bingo spots with 1 stone event. 2 bingos, 1 event. That does not have the same kind of roll off the tongue as it does. So I gotta know if he said it or not. I need to see if he says. I gotta know if he says
the Gliding Glaciers going from last to first. That is mighty impressive.
He's got to say, this is the event of all the events that he says penultimate. He says penultimate funnel.
Now. Thunderbolts drop through first. Gliding Glaciers will hold on to the lead. Now, you would think that Glaciers kind of have it in their being to be slow. This is deceptively not a slowness event. This is one of strategy and endurance. You have to keep it going. If anything, you must keep your speed up.
He's not even talking about the funnels. He's just talking about all strategy.
And dropping down. We nearly have finishers down below. Remember, the first 4 that fall through will not advance. Cyan Eye is last. I know that was a controversial choice. White Eye just smashed his tactical board, apparently.
Smashes his tactical board. Smashes his Windows tablet. Hashtag non-spawn.
Difficulty there already.
Does he not say it?
Lip out. Ghosto. Flip the fortune. Manages to keep momentum going and gets on the other side of that wall of marbles. That's one way to flip the fortunes, and we see it in Kinnowan. The O'Rangers are now in a precarious situation.
He doesn't say it.
Kinnowan went from leading this race, and all of a sudden is Sterling from the Shining Swarm. Now, more marbles are dropping in. Have the O'Rangers righted the ship? They have. Kinnowan doing an incredible job.
Dang. Did he really not say penultimate? Sad day.
Up top,
when
slow they
Greg
are
does
getting.
not say
There come
penultimate.
has dropped through and lost the lead. You start shouldering marbles side to side, and is Sheet going to retake the lead? Yes, indeed. The Gliding Glaciers. This has been a tremendous performance.
Yeah, he doesn't say it. He doesn't say it. Sad times. Sad times with the bingo. He doesn't say it. We could just hold out hope for Honey Dome that he says penultimate for a penultimate lap. Bees. That would have been amazing if they got another one. They just need one more to hit the over. No Marvel injury. No event delay due to Bees. Did have an event delay due to an entire billboard falling. With done count. First to worst, worst to first. Bees almost took worst. Who was the worst? Out of this. Cat's Eye. Okay, so the Bees were so close. So we're hoping for the Cat's Eyes throwing it back next event. Or if Shining Swarm absolutely collapse. Where did Swarm finish off? At the Tug of War. The War of Tug. Why do we get ads? I say as I insert an ad to my stream. It's an unskippable one too. Two unskippable ones. Glorious product you got, YouTube. Oh, jeez. Boom. Team Plasma. Dang. Okay, Swarm was 12th. So we're not at that bingo spot yet. Oh, wait. 69. Did we get it? Because there are only 4 teams that coulda. Where we at? Give it to me. Oh, no! Okay. Midnight Wisps need 5. O-Rangers need 10. Swarm need 11. Swarm could take 5th easily in balancing. 11 is 5th place. 11 points is 5th place. To get 69. 15. Glaciers, hey, how does another bronze sound, Glaciers? You want to do that in balancing? Or Galactic, maybe? Galactic could. And then 44 points is what no team has. So, O-Rangers Swarm. 12 points for 4th. Rollers. No, 60. Not 17. You can't get it. 17 points, you can't get it. I was doing the incorrect maths. So Rollers, Shining Swarm, O-Rangers, Midnight Wisps can get it. That is such a tough one. Yeah, we got 57 and 79. You got 59, 79. For some reason, it's just such a hard number to get. Based on how math and numbers do go burr. That is, in fact, something marbles numbers do. Winner doesn't podium, have to wait for that. No photo finish. Didn't mention Doc. Have to wait for block pushing. No fan invasion. No fight. Had some angry fans and a sign fall down. Every team medal. 2 events. That could happen in the next 2 events. Team Momo, please. Thunderbolts, please. Galactic Mellow Yellow, I'm not worried about. They'll get it eventually. But Thunderbolts, please. If you get it here, then we can get it here. Oh, Lord. That'd be some good stuff. Galact 5th hasn't happened yet. Could happen. Might happen. And then 6 teams in contention going into the final. Right now, we have 5. So if this was it, right, and a gold could win it, it is only the top 5 being able to win it. Luckily, we have 9 events left. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. And let's just hope anything can and will happen. Next event, which is Thursday, has been an hour. I have gone through all my minutes. I am a maid. One last time. I am a maid. Ain't got no legs. Ain't got no legs. That being invisible somehow feels weirder than being naked. I am, in fact, very clothed. There's no explaining this away in court. There's just not enough context in the world to explain what you're seeing right now. Except for the fact that the Savage Speeders are on top, and that is self-explanatory because they are the Savage Speeders. They're going to get a gold eventually. They can't not. They did almost win 2018 with no gold. But it's basically the gold would have sealed the deal. They're going to get a gold. Somehow, some way. We still have relay. We still have triathlon. Let's actually go to... So we got banners fixed. This is the banner that we should have had for the last week and a half. But this is the fixed banner, which is going off of the schedule that was announced at the start of the season. So we have balancing Thursday, triathlon Saturday, relay next Tuesday, and then Hablino Maze. Classic. Bringing it back. So yeah, triathlon and balancing, easy ones for the speeders to take. Balancing, Cats could take it. Whole lot of teams could take it. Maybe Pinkies. I do have the Pinkies taking balancing just because they smoked everyone the last balancings that they balanced. So might as well just do it again. No idea who's going to win Maze. But I did put my predictions in, at least as far as Big Gets Big Takes is concerned, through Event 9, and then I'll get my picks in for the following 3. I was incorrect in how time works because Europe is off daylight savings, so they fell back an hour. North America is still on daylight savings time, so there was an extra hour. I thought the stream was, or the time difference was losing an hour relative. It's actually gaining an hour. So instead of going from noon local to 11, it's going from noon to 1. So I'm going to have Thursday stream at 2 is what that sounds like. And then Monday stream will be noon Pacific, 2 Pacific for Thursday, noon Pacific, because this Sunday, North America gets off daylight savings, fall back, get the extra hour on sleep on a Sunday instead of Monday for whatever reason. Get the extra hour of sleep, get the times realigned. So it's really only going to affect this stream, which is already over, and Thursday's stream, which unfortunately I will not be dressed up as a cat maid for that. So balancing, I did put pinkies. So let's hammer the other 3. Let me do pinkies. Let me do cats. And let me do plasma. And then bottom 3. I'll take who's it could be? Let's do the bolts. Bolts are steady being absolutely garboni. Let's take bolts. Let's take who was bad in balancing last year? I want to say glaciers. Let's take glaciers. And then I want to say wisps. Let's take wisps. Why not? Back-to-back lead cubes. Pinkies, cats, plasma, that's your podium. Wisps, bolts, galactic. No, not galactic. Glaciers. Bolts, glaciers, wisps as your bottom 3. Let's see how that ages on Thursday in 2 days. So I will see you all then. Thank you for tuning in. I know this was such a rushed everything for the fact that JMR didn't announce that event was happening until the event was happening. So thank you for tuning in. I'll see you all in 2 days. Ooh woo. Make sure to get that ooh woo Kurt on Redbubble. Before it runs out, because it is Halloween, and that's when the Halloween stuff stops, is on Halloween. So happy Halloween. Enjoy yourselves. If you're trick-or-treating, have fun, stay safe. I'll definitely be having my face in a bowl of candy. I made popcorn balls. Some I'll just devour. I actually might do that. Because you take marshmallow fluff, take some butter, and then you add your popcorn in, right? Just form them into balls. I might just make a giant popcorn ball because I'm the only one really eating them. So I might just make a giant popcorn ball and have a time with that. So I will see you all after balancing. Have a very happy Halloween. As always, Waluigi taking us out. Did not mean to mute myself. Take care. Bye-bye.